Hello and welcome to the Growing Green podcast. Your host, Jeremiah Jennings, is the owner of Growing Green Landscapes in Birmingham, Alabama, and has a passion for growing the entrepreneurship community for those who are young in business. Being a business owner isn't easy, especially in the early years, and that's why in this show we dive into a wide range of topics covering all the challenges small business owners deal with. Even if your company is generating $1 million or more, the stories from our great guest and Jeremiah's own firsthand experiences will propel your business forward. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Jennings.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to today here on the Growing Green podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings, and I am excited to come to you today with another fresh episode for your Wednesday. Hope you guys are doing well, having a great week out there, crushing it. We have been hot in Bama this week. It has been one of the hottest weeks of the year so far. Coming off of Tuesday, where the high was 105, 107 heat index, I think, maybe 110 at one point. Very, very hot, very muggy. We're getting a little bit of a break moving forward, but these are the dog days, man. You are in the dog days right now. If you are out grinding right now and everybody is like, man, you making it out there? It's hot. Yeah, it's hot. Tell me about it, right? You're not out there in it. We're the ones out there in it. I know it's hot. So totally get that. Keep your head up. Fall is just around the corner, but you are in the days right now, and I totally feel it and feel it for you, feel it with you, everything about it. We have been grinding, and I know that feeling. It has been last couple weeks have been fun. Been putting some good projects in the ground, and went to get into trades, which is awesome. And I don't know if we did a show last week after Together in Trades. It was a great trip out there to Williams, Arizona. Some fantastic time with my wife Savannah, and just having some time to reconnect and reengage and talk through even some things that we had never talked about before. It was just a fantastic space for that. And shout out to the Fullertons and the Almonds for putting that together and making sure that everybody has that place to continue. And the world thought it was ending. Made a long trek out to Arizona, thinking this was the last one. But lo and behold, the Lord had other plans. And so there are a lot of people there that thought it brings more value than I think some people knew or understood, and they said, you know what, we got to keep this thing going. So keep it going, we will, or they will. And the Almonds and Fullerton's going to do a great job getting that back on track. And not back on track, it was never off track, but just bringing some new things in, I think, changing some things up and making sure that people are getting the most value out of it and continuing to create a space for intentional conversation and reconnection in your marriage. So that was fantastic. Totally love every bit of that, and what that conference means and what it looks like. Thanks to the sponsors, Vermeer and Granum, for that, because that event doesn't happen without those sponsors. Thank you to our friends here, that sponsor this show, Granum, Element. Use code Jeremiah if you're signing up for a new Element subscription. We'd love to help you with that and show you any ins and outs of our account and help you any way that we can, like I said, of how our system works, how we use it day in and day out. John Deere, thank you to them for helping partner with our show and bringing us some fantastic equipment that we use all day, every day out in the field. The Q8 series mowers. We have some Z's, a John Deere 317 skid steer. We are loaded down with green and yellow, baby, and we could not do without them. They are a fantastic company to partner with, and it really means the world to me that we get to use them and promote them, as well as Milwaukee Tool. Don't ever forget about Milwaukee. You're going to hear some great shows from Milwaukee, Wisconsin in a couple weeks for their pipeline event. We're going to get to dive into some new stuff they have coming out. They actually have a new product releasing that is going to be game-changing. I cannot wait to show it off. Can't wait to get my hands on it. There is one other that I've seen on the market that people use. We don't see it very heavily or very prevalent, and I'm excited to share this one. Let's just say the cleanup game will never be the same, and that's all that I can say about it. But you're going to see it here in just a couple weeks, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be a fantastic piece of equipment and a solution to a problem that almost every landscaper has, and I really do think that they're solving a huge void in the market here with this new tool. So I'm excited for what they're going to bring to the table as well. Guys, business is business. Business is hard. Business is not easy. And I say that, and you may be like, what are you talking about? What's that background noise you're hearing? What is that? What's going on in the background over there? I actually do have my BPHS 1 headset on, so the sound hopefully is pretty good. But you may have a little bit of background noise. And what is that? That is the beautiful ocean waves rolling in on the Gulf of America. Rolling in here from Panama City Beach, Florida. Down here spending some time with the family this week. We have 1 week at the beach this year. Last year, so we have family have timeshares, and they have a couple weeks a year. This year, the only week they had, they only had 1 week fall in the summer. Last year, there were like 2 or 3 weeks fell in the summer. So this year, 1 week fell in the summer, and we decided we're going to make the trip and do the whole thing. And so we're excited to be here and spend some time with family. And that's why if you're on socials, I hadn't been on socials at all this week. May post a little bit towards the latter half of the week. But guys are knocking out work at home, and it's not always an easy feeling. I tell you, it doesn't come without struggles. And I want to talk about that in a minute today, just like what that looks like, what that means to have guys back home producing, you be on a vacation, you're still having to work. Like, what does all that look like? And I've never really dove into this too much on this show. And excuse me while I get my drink of great value water here. No, actually, this is Members Mark, Sam's water. Are you a preferred or a distilled kind of guy? Some people like purified. Are you a purified kind of guy or a distilled kind of guy? We usually go with purified, but I have done distilled, but I'm usually a purified guy. We are here, and as an owner of a small business, it requires me to work some. You may get a fresh perspective of this, too, a different perspective of this. Savannah's parents, her father, decided to, after 30-plus years of being in corporate world, he in a construction setting, but he was on the white-collar side of things, has decided to go and work for an employer, has decided to go start his own company with some partners. And he is getting a taste of that entrepreneurship grind while on vacation. The other day he was making a joke. He was like, man, I'm just going to go back to working for the man. I can come down to the beach and not have to work. And I was like, yeah, you know how it feels now. So we're at the beach, and we may try to get him on the show and get a little bit of that perspective too. Very wise man, one of the wisest men that I know. Tremendous respect. And so it would be a great show, great value for you guys to get to listen to that. But we are to a point where we've had some ups and downs in the business. We've had people come, we've had people go. We had a great crew last year. We lost a foreman in the spring. The commercial project really taxed us. We were climbing out of that hole. We lost another guy. Mowing. We're having to rebuild with not as much experience. We're having to really focus on training. We're having breaks and accidents. It has been one of the years where it's like, holy cow, if we can get through this year. And I don't say that like as a poor, pitiful me, but I say that as like this will be a year. This will be a 2 to 3 year period where we look back in 10 years or 15 years and say, that was rough. And I'm sharing that with you because like I'm in that right now. And if you feel like you're in that right now, you are not alone. Like that's the basis and foundation of why I want to say that is I don't need pity, right? I don't need are you making it? Are you okay? We're fine. Okay, we're fine. If I need therapy or something, I'll take care of it, and I'll talk to you about it. I'll find somebody to confide in. And that is not weakness, by the way. Maybe you are the one struggling. Maybe this business is taking a toll on you. Maybe you can't sleep at night. Maybe you're having depression problems. Maybe you are struggling in your marriage because you're having a hard year in business. If that's you guys, if that's your business right now, if that's the setup that you have, 1, it's okay. 2, you're not alone. There's somebody else going through it. 3, you should find someone to talk about it. Like, in a sense, this is kind of therapy for me. I get to talk about it to the masses. I don't go in extreme detail here, but I still get to talk about it to the masses and like let you know, hey, things are not always perfect. And guess what? That's okay. That's okay. That's what being real, raw, relatable is, right? Like, it's not always sunshine and rainbows, and you should know that. because I know it's not for you. I know your business that's not on social media, that your life that's not on social media. Like, I know that it's not perfect. I know you're having struggles. I know you're having problems day in and day out. You're just not sharing with anybody, and you're not talking about it. So you should find somebody to confide in. You should find somebody who wants to help you and has your best interest in mind, because if you don't, like, it could take a negative toll on you down the road. Meekness is not weakness, guys. Jesus in the Bible is called meek. And he says in the Beatitudes, the Sermon on the Mount, blessed are the meek. That's not weak. Meek is not weak. Meek is strength under control. So you can be strong, you can be a man, but you can be able to control it, and you can be able to know how and when to, like, dish it out. And asking for help, asking for someone to talk to through things, like, that's not weakness. And you need to get that out of your head. If you are you're raised by a blue collar family, maybe your dad told you it was wrong to cry. Like, and listen, this is coming from someone who, like, I don't cry very much. Like, I don't cry very much. I just don't. I wasn't raised that way. The only time my dad ever really cried was when he was preaching behind a pulpit. That's when I saw, and that because that's what his passion is. He's a full-time minister, and, like, that's where his calling is. That is what he's devoted his life to, and that brings him the most passion that he does. And he's convicted, and he has a passion for people who are lost, and I get that. And so maybe you don't cry a lot. That's okay, but you still should be able to say, like, hey, life is hard right now, and I just need to, like, talk about it. Just need to share and get off my chest. That's part of life. So we've had these issues, right? We've had these turnovers, and being at the beach does look different this year. Last year it was a little more hands-off. This year it's a little more hands-on. It's a little more phone calls, a little more back-and-forth logistics. But it's still, like, my team's doing great. I hate that. Ooh, that just, like, lit a fire in me. I hate saying my team. I hate it. Have I ever said that before? I don't know that I've ever announced that to you guys. If you've ever said my team around me, I've probably cringed a little bit on the inside. Because it's not mine, first. It's not mine. It's all ours. We all do this together. They work for themselves. You've heard Mark Bradley talk about that. Like, every person on the planet is an entrepreneur. They get up to go to work for themselves every single day. And they do it inside of a business that we are building together. Not that I've built, that we are building together. Like, the business doesn't get built without them. Like, the work does not get done at home right now without them doing it. So it's not my team. It's our organization. Our team right now that I, like, call family, they're doing fantastic. They're doing great work. There was a hole in an estimate that I did, lack of planning on a part. We needed a dumpster on site that I did not get on site. And it has cost us hours of transportation and dumping. That transportation and dumping led to a wreck, which was not fun. It's the first one we've ever had, which really is annoying. It just really is annoying. It's the problem is, like, you have to look at what could have been avoided. Could the wreck have been avoided? Like, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't think it could have. The driver had a very good story, and it lined with other people around. Like, it could have been much worse than it was too. It ended up just being like a fender bender, but it's enough of a fender bender to have to file insurance on, and it's gonna get expensive pretty quick probably. Insurance will go up pretty heavily, and it's just annoying because if I would have had the dumpster, we wouldn't have had a load going down the street, but we still would have been going down the street. You know, like, it's not totally avoidable. But if I would have had a dumpster on site, like, we wouldn't have had a full trailer going down the road, and it just I don't know. It could have been avoided, maybe. Regardless, lack of planning on my part with the dumpster has cost us 2 days this week of production. We're producing on this job. We'll still make money in a sense of, like, it was all labor costs. There's no material on this, which has been good. But we are what I had slated for a day, we're now into 2 full days and half of a morning on. with 2 guys. And so it's like, yikes, what happened here? And I can tell you what happened is I didn't put a dumpster in the job. That's literally all it was. Like if I would have had a dumpster on site, we would have probably gotten out of the job by hitting hours. Our transport time of dumping has been what hosed us. But we're wrapping that job up. We're starting a new job. They're going to start a good-sized landscape demo and install without me there. Our crew lead is doing fantastic. Juan, he's awesome. He is someone who works hard, has a great work ethic, cares about our image, cares about our reputation, and he did not know anything really coming in. He had done some work for himself over the years, but not really anything to our standard as far as like just professionalism for the trade. And so he's learning. We're training him. What does that look like? That's been a process to learn and understand of training a new foreman, and it's been good. It's been hard. The last foreman we had, I thought knew more than he knew, and so I delegated too much too quick. This one didn't know anything, so I've held on longer than the last one, and now he's starting to really get his feet under him, and things are not breaking, things are not going wrong, things are not going in the ground wrong, but jobs are getting done much slower. And so it's a learning curve. It's a learning process, and that's kind of the same thing where we're at with mowing right now. Is we're in a big training point to where we're training another new foreman to take over for the one we currently have, so he can go sell and build another route to then run that route until he can again train another foreman and rinse repeat. But this one again has no experience, and we're having to learn, and he's having to learn. We're having to teach, and he's hitting new learning curves and gaps, and he's like, okay, what's next? How do I do this? And I think it's getting a little frustrating because, again, it's 105 degrees outside. Like, that's part of it. All these things, like slower production, makes cash tighter because people are working more. Jobs are not getting done as quickly. So it puts a strain on the business. And it's not all necessarily bad things. I'm coming out of some financial decisions that should not have been made probably 1.5 to 2 years ago. We're still having to come through some of that, and times where we had unprofitable maintenance accounts pre-LMN that are still hurting us. We were driving too much. And by the way, let me tell you, without LMN, this stuff doesn't get fixed, because this is where we get the reports to fix this stuff. Without LMN, the business would be shut down right now. It's really that serious and that simple at the same time. I would be bankrupt probably, and we would be shut down because the routes that we were running mowing were not making money. We were losing money. We were paying people to cut this grass. And I had this data after 6 to 8 months, a year of running LMN to show, and you can get a lot faster than that too, by the way, if you're diligent and dedicated to doing the work. But it took that data to show me, oh, wow, okay, we are really in trouble here. Because when you're early in business, and again, I'm not a finance guru, so you get started and you're like, okay, I need an operating line of credit. I'm going to take a loan here, a loan there on a piece of equipment, blah, blah, blah. I have some cards because I need to cash flow stuff. Well, it's very easy to use that stuff and use it because you need it, but it is not paying for itself over time. You're like, I'm using this to fund this cash, right, or fund this material, whatever, until the job closes, and we get paid. And yes, but if you're running unprofitable work paired with that, you're heading downhill. And we were running unprofitable work on the mowing front with some of that. And so that is just life, and it just happens. And I always go back to Corey Ballard shared a story of he was running a $10 million company and they lost money. That's real. That is real. That actually happens. And that again, it's not okay that you lose money, but it's okay that you have that experience in life to look and say, okay, this is what we'll never do again, and these are the priorities that matter. But you have to be able to weather the storm. And guys, right now we are weathering a storm, and I know you probably are too. You may be out there weathering a storm. And that's okay that you're in the storm, but you have to keep your head up and keep pushing. And I will tell you, something that I'm consciously making an effort to do and change is my morning routine has to change here. I don't ever sleep in, but I'm like a 6:30 to 6:45 person to wake up, roll out, get to the property for rollout on time, but not really, really crazy early. And I'm not necessarily making time for quiet time in the morning with the Lord, always. And it's not a consistent cadence that it needs to be. I'm not getting up early and getting some work done. I'm not getting up and getting estimates out the door. I'm not doing some of those things. And at the end of the day, it's just laziness. Like, it is just laziness. I'll call myself lazy and I'll call you lazy at the same time. If you are out there and this is something that you're struggling with, like, you are part of the problem and you are part of the solution. You have every chance out there. You have every book, every podcast, every iota of information that you could ask for of people that have gone through and done the things that you are struggling with. And they can tell you how to fix it. And like, for me, it is getting up in the mornings, having quiet time, having intentionality with the Lord and my faith, making sure that He is first to start the day, that I don't get thrown into the problems of the world, and getting in the gym of some sort. Like, that is what my priorities are. That's what has to change for me personally. And I would challenge you, like, maybe that's what has to change for you. Maybe it's not. Maybe that's working, but you need something else. And this is, again, like, guys, I'm very open about my faith, and it's just something that I feel more and more called to. I hope that it doesn't offend you. If it does, I'm sorry. I'm not going to stop talking about it. But it is the most important decision you'll make in your life, is where you go when you die. Hands down. Like, that's the most important decision, where you put your faith right now. And for me, if I'm going to say that's the most important thing, I should probably dedicate some time to it in the morning. And you probably should too. And so, for me, that's one of the things that I'm going to change the most here going forward, is like making sure I have that cadence. There's a guy local to me that I want to have on the show here soon. His name's Bobby Mason, and he owns Spock Energy. Spock Automation, I think, is what they changed the name to. But Spock Automation, and guys, he's on the fast track to $1 billion, privately held, one owner, fantastic culture. He found a huge solution to a huge problem in the gas and oil-filled world, and is now transferring that over into technology for data centers. Major things, solving world problems. He goes to my church. He leads small groups. Like, I get to be around him some, and he always starts his day between 4:30 and 5 reading his Bible and praying. And, like, the proof is in the pudding. Is that why he's successful? I don't know. I can't say yes or no. But I know that he's doing it and it's working, and he continues to fall back on that. He has said, like, multiple times, there's been times in business where I've been, like, we've almost given up. But his faith continues. And he pushes through and he perseveres. And so I just want you to think, like, maybe this is that time for you. And I didn't know where the show was going to go, transparently, when I started. Maybe this is that time for you. And maybe this is actually a time in business where business is good. Well, don't forget maybe what got you there, or give credit where credit's due, because you may have done a lot of hard work, you may have done a lot of things, but, like, without the Lord's hand and protection on you to do it, it wouldn't happen. Without His hand and protection on you to wake up every single day, you wouldn't wake up. So maybe give thanks there, because, again, that's what matters the most. So as we continue to push through and, like, continue these trainings and things, I'm realizing how much training costs, by the way. Mark Bradley has shared in multiple different settings that I've been in around him in different speeches of how important and how costly lack of training and training improperly is. Guys, training is tremendously expensive. There's opportunity cost lost. There's straight physical cash lost. Like, it is hard because people come in, they don't know anything. You have to take time to pour into them and show them, hey, this is how we do it, this is how we don't do it. It's slower. You could be doing things faster. Like, guys, there's so much that goes into training that costs money. We had to run a 3-man mow crew just to physically get the work done, but we don't have, like, the funding is not there, the cash is not there to run a 3-man mow crew. But you have to have 3 because we literally wouldn't get the work done. We'd be in overtime all week, every week. The other person that's doing the training would be, like, miserable because it's so hot and they're doing all the work. Like, there's so much that goes into training, and we are heavy training right now. It's why I'm trying to build a culture of where we bring people in that they stay and stick. Because if I spend weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and months training somebody and they leave, then, like, that's just cash out the window. It's like, I get that. What if I train them and they leave? What if you train them and what if you don't train them and they stay? That's a famous quote, which is very real. Because what'll happen is, like, those inconsistencies, those lack of things that you didn't do that you're doing right now will just live on forever and ever. And you may get through some of them down the road, but it's going to take a lot longer to get there. So this, for me, is like a 12-week window of, hey, this is going to suck cash, this is going to suck time, it's going to suck opportunity costs on other projects. But at the end of this 12 weeks, he's going to be able to run and go on his own, and we're going to be in a good spot moving forward. So, like, we have to be able to just push through this. It's a 12-week window. We can get through it, right? But if you don't train, it could be a 36-month window. You don't ever know. And as you continue to grow, as I've continued to grow, like, things matter more than others now. Like I talked about last week, hours booked, hours sold, and hours actually worked. Matter more than ever. If I have 120 hours on the schedule with a 3-man crew, I better be working between 100 and 120 of those, trying to be as billable as possible. If I have 70 hours of unbillable work, we're in trouble, okay? And again, that's where LMN comes in the sense of you can track that in the crew app very easily. Guys are on site all day, they're in billable work. Guys are off site, they're driving around, they're dumping, right? That's what, like, and dumping is not necessarily unbillable on a landscape job because that, like, I could have built that drive time in. Mowing, if they're driving from yard to yard, that's unbillable time. You're not billing for that drive time. You could be, but you're most likely not on just a standard residential account driving from yard to yard. You're not out there. You're not out there billing for every single drive between. So that's just, again, things to consider and things to look at. I am really proud of where our team is. I'm proud of where we've come. I'm proud of where we're going. Has it been easy? No. Will we write a book about it one day? Absolutely. I can't wait to tell the story from the other side of it and not in it. That's going to be a great feeling as well. But I hope that this can just bring you a little bit of maybe optimism, maybe a little bit of encouragement, because one thing I try to do the most is, like, even though we're in a hard season, even though we're going through some hard times, I try to keep a positive outlook on everything. I try to make sure my people still are happy, my people are taken care of, like their checks at the bank, and we continue to keep on growing. And again, we value our people, we value our partnerships, our vendors stay paid. Like, that's part of life. And I'm not saying I've ever been behind on a vendor payment either, but because, again, things happen. Have communication, build those things in to where they know, hey, this is what's going on, this is what's happening. We got a job go south. You can talk through those things. They want to hear you, and they want to talk to you about those things. They want to help you. Most people out there want to help you and see you succeed, right? Your vendors want you to come back to them and communicate with them because they want you to be able to spend money with them long term. And that's why if you have a good vendor, they're going to help you with some business. They may not be a business guru, but they're going to help you say, you probably should be charging more. Everybody that comes in here charges more than that, because what they can do is say, hey, sure, you can be the cheapest guy out there, but, like, if I don't tell you this and teach you this now, they kind of have an ulterior motive because they want you to buy from them for years and years and years and years. And they want to see your business grow, so you buy more and more and more and more and more from them. Whereas if you're just the cheapest guy and they just sell you stuff now, but they don't teach you anything or help you with anything, well, you're going to be out of business in 2 or 3 years. And they're never going to have that sell or have the potential of that company to you anymore. So, like, they are vested in your best interest. But you have to show and take, you have to, like, build that relationship and add that value, right? That's what we talked about a couple shows ago, is add value. And those vendor partnerships, like, that stuff matters. And I would just encourage you as you go through whatever season you're in right now. And I would love a message or two, right? Maybe you're listening to this show. There's going to be hundreds of you listening to this show. And I would hope that somebody out there can sit here and say, like, you know what, this show was actually for me. It would encourage me. I'll just be honest with you. Like, it would encourage me to know that someone else is going through it, right? Because I said you're not alone. I know that I'm not alone. I know that somebody else is going through something hard. And it's not that you create a poor, pitiful me party about it. It's like you get to strengthen each other. You get to build each other up and say, you know what, man, this is tough, but we can get through it, right? So I would love a message of somebody that's going through something. Or maybe it's a message of someone who's gone through it, and you're like, you know what, hey, we had this happen. These are some things we did. And if you're okay, I would love to share some of that. You don't have to share names or anything, but just to be able to look and say, hey, it's all right to not be perfect. It's all right to not be all sunshine and rainbows all the time. And the world still spins around the sun. The sun still rises every day. The waves still roll in on the ocean, right? You're going to wake up and take a breath, as long as the Lord gives you that blessing. You have to go be a good steward. You have to impact people positively. You have to build people up. You have to add value to people in your organization. Treat your family with respect, love, kindness, care, meekness. Guys, you are your future. And if you can't bet on yourself and follow through on the things that you say you're going to do and set yourself up for success and your family up for success, you will have a feeling of unworthiness. Is that a right feeling to have? No, because you're always worthy, right? Like Christ made you as a human that is of immense value. He died on the cross for you. Okay, don't forget that. There's a song called Son of Suffering. Go listen to that song and let it sit in what he did for you. And then you may think about life differently. You may look at life differently if you hear the lyrics of that song and say, holy cow, like this actually happened? Like, go read Isaiah 53. Go hear and listen about how he was bruised for you. You are worthy. You are worthy to live. You are worthy to build. You are worthy to grow. So take that unworthiness feeling and get it out the window. But what I would tell you is, if you fail to do those things, it will leave you hurting. It will leave you sad. You have the potential to be strong, and I have the potential to be strong and successful and confident and have a good business that impacts good people and adds value to people's lives and builds families. But that's on the work that you get up and do every single day. Nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to just tell you to get there. Nobody's going to show you how, like, here's how you do it. Just press this button and we get there. Like, no, it's hard. Life is hard. Everything good in life comes from something hard. It's time for you to take your reins and say, you know what, this is going to be hard, but I'm going to take life by the horns here and say, you know what, we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. Guys, I love you. I care about you. I appreciate you. If there's any way that I can help you, reach out and let me know. I hope this is something to think on. I hope it's some value to you. Take it, apply it, put it into your daily life. Reach out and let me know if I can ever help you at all. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. Without any further ado, I'm going to wrap this episode up, and we'll catch you here on the next one. See you guys.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growing Green podcast. It is an honor to have you listening, and we hope you receive valuable advice to help take your business to the next level. Don't forget to follow the podcast so you'll be notified when our next episode drops.